Hello everyone, this is Century Countess. In today's video, I'm going back to an old style. I'll be doing a picture story video, only this time it will be lightly narrated, but there is going to be some reading to it. Um, it's basically a documentary about my first dress that I wore for my second performance. And what I mean by first dress was when I did my debut performance years and years ago for an audience. I didn't have a dress. All I had was a white bustier, a ruffled blouse, and a kind of antique lacy, flouncy skirt. So I put it all together and it had this kind of 1910 undergarment look. So that's what I wore for my debut performance. But the second performance was this old dress, and today I am going to use the old pieces to revive it anew. The next clips you're about to see are the pictures of the construction of the new dress. Um, it wasn't easy. Cutting out the pieces and altering them for the proper size was okay. But when it came to doing bits like the skirt and the bodice, connecting the bodice with the skirt, it wasn't easy because the front part had to look just right, and doing that type of style is pretty hard. So I saved it for the very last. And as well as the lining was not working right. So the side pieces that I altered doesn't have lining, but the front and back piece does. And I also left the lining and the main part of the upper part of the bodice unsewn together. And I finally stitched them closed last. Cutting out the skirt panels was easy. The fabric was large and it was much wider than 60 inches wide, so it must have been some really good quality fabric. Um, so I didn't have to do too much with the reshaping and the sizing. It was the pleating, though, that left me surprised. I thought the amount of panels that I had cut out was enough, but then as I began doing a pleating test to see how it would look, I realized the amount that I had from the old version was not enough for the new updated version. And if you noticed in the old version, the pleating was quite rushed. And you could tell mostly in the part of the discolored area where the colors didn't mix. So after doing that, fortunately, as I said earlier, I had plenty of leftover fabric. So I made one or two more panels, pleated those, um, gathered a little extra, and managed to complete the skirt. Now, for the sleeves, that was going to be interesting. I no longer had the pattern, as I had mentioned earlier in this video. Um, so I had to improvise, and I knew the sleeves from the two dresses had like a tight looking fit or a form fitted fit. And the only pattern that came close was a medieval dress pattern that I had that I used for my Queen Millennia costume for cosplay Comic Con that didn't happen this year. So what I did was I retraced that pattern and I did a short sleeve version of it, as short as I could get it, to where when I did the lower sleeve, it would um, it would work. So I cut it out. Um, I sewed it up. I did have to alter the bottom a bit because it was a little bit uneven, but afterwards it was perfect. Um, and it took me a bit to figure out how to sew it to the straps of the dress. Seeing the gown as it should have looked if I had more time to have made it back then was so amazing. And it was so right to incorporate some of the old material of that dress to the newer version of it. I'm so glad how well it turned out. I am ecstatic with excitement. I cannot wait to wear it when my show reopens, whenever that will be. I might also wear the gown in a future video. You never know. Um, I will have to see how it looks with my Tudor chemise that I made last year. And also I need to make, I don't know what it's called, but the little drapery thing that they wore underneath to kind of cover the shoulders, that translucent thing. I forget what it's called, but I'll have to look it up, and I'm sure it's an easy pattern to make. Or I just might make a false necky thing to put over the chemise. Anyway, that's it for now. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell, and I will see you soon.